Cara Tolliver from Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty joins me on the program. I'm guessing you can't answer that question, Cara. It's good to have you, by the way.
Thanks a lot, Vicki. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. So we're going to Beloit. Go ahead, please.
You're right. I can't answer that question. What I can tell you, as far as recent updates for Will, last week we sent the Beloit School District a warning letter demanding that the school board immediately cease the operation of the district's race-based Grow Your Own Teaching Scholarship, which is in violation of the Constitution and numerous other laws. So Beloit champions this teaching scholarship on its website, which explains that the program was created to train and recruit new teachers who, quote, look like certain students. And this is in response to what the district receives is a racial imbalance between students and teachers in the district. So, I mean, of course, if a race-neutral Grow Your Own Teaching Scholarship, if that's what the district were doing, that would be great, especially in the face of ongoing teacher shortages across the nation and in Wisconsin. But in the Beloit School District, this program isn't for everyone. The district unlawfully limits its $20,000 plus scholarship to minority students and staff. And the district further solicits contributions from its board members and offers incentives to employees to fund these illegal scholarships.
Wow. So it's using taxpayer money to fund the scholarships. Then it's using taxpayer resources to reward employees who might donate to the scholarships, and you can't be white and get one of these teaching scholarships.
Yeah, I would say it's not clear that they're using taxpayer money to fund them, but they are asking their employees to directly contribute from their paychecks to these scholarships, and they are definitely using public resources and time to promote and support the scholarship. So yeah, the entire scheme conducted by the district is in violation of numerous longstanding prohibitions that forbid racial discrimination.
Title VI, the U.S. Constitution, Wisconsin anti-discrimination law, federal anti-discrimination law, pretty much everything, because it's race-based. So if this is how you can always tell, you swap in white for whatever, for a person of color. So only white teachers, so that white students in the Beloit schools can have teachers that look like them. Nobody would tolerate it. If you won't tolerate it with the word white in the sentence, then it's illegal. This has been around for decades. This has been the law. We just had another recent Supreme Court decision saying you can't use race to determine employment, education, or whatever. So why does it keep happening, do you think? Why is it that this is like whack-a-mole for Will? That, it seems like every 3 to 6 months, there's another case. And I ask the same question. Wait a minute. Hasn't this been asked and answered? What does it take to get compliance?
Well, that's exactly right. The district has no excuse for attempting to skirt basic black letter law on this. And I think the simple fact is that this country has to get away from the broad use of racial preferences, which at bottom implement illegitimate notions of racial superiority and inferiority. And the same ideas that the district is using now to justify its discriminatory scholarship have all been used in the past to justify unjustified racial discrimination and segregation. We've already seen the disastrous consequences that discrimination works through the ways in which people are treated and mistreated. We do not have to reenact this dreadful history. And so, yes, the Supreme Court has been addressing this issue. I think it will continue to be an issue that plays itself out in varying contexts. But I'd say that here we're in a public school. We're talking about officials that are charged with the care and education of children. Basic compliance with the Constitution and applicable anti-discrimination laws is neither onerous nor voluntary. It's straightforward and mandatory. So yeah, we'd love it if the Beloit School District chooses to do the right thing here and lawfully open up this program to everybody, which of course would be the sensible thing to do during a teacher shortage crisis. But if they want to dig their heels in, and continue in violation of the Constitution and numerous laws, then we'll continue to pursue further legal recourse against the district.
So the logic behind this program is that Black students, Hispanic students, or whatever, I'm not sure that this all goes into sexuality as well, alt sexuality as well, but let's just say it's race, that Black and Hispanic students need to be taught by Black and Hispanic teachers. And so are they racially segregating students by race in the classrooms?
I think their goal behind the scholarship is to this idea of racial balancing between the district's students and teachers. They believe that there are too many white teachers as compared to the number of minority students in the district, and that needs to be rectified. That's a problem as the district sees it.
Right.
But
so too many white teachers and too many Black kids. Too many white teachers,
correct.
Too many Black kids. So but that's why I'm asking. So if the whole point of getting Black teachers in the Beloit schools is because Black kids need to be taught by Black teachers, then should white kids not be taught by white teachers? Is that not where the logic would necessarily lead? And doesn't get us back to the, circa mid 1950s?
That's exactly right. To taken to its logical extreme, this is really advocating for a system of separate but equal, which, again, why do we need to relive that dreadful history? And that's exactly why it's been good and illegal for a very, very long time. So, again, hopefully, I think our letter to the district lays out what the state of the law is pretty clearly, and it really does sound pretty ridiculous when you talk about it in basic terms like this. Hopefully they will see some logic in not continuing to move forward with something that is so blatantly on its face in violation of numerous longstanding provisions. But, sometimes the government needs a push, and hey, we're here to do that.
So does it explicitly state you can't be white on the application? And then furthermore, is your client someone who made an application or who knew he or she was prohibited from making this application? Because this is real money. This is $20,000 over 4 years. So that's a nice little bonus, isn't it?
That's a great bonus. That's the difference between pursuing school for some people and either struggling, making some hard decisions, maybe putting off school, maybe not going at all. So it's clear that the district acknowledges that there's certain racial classifications that they consider to be diverse. What you don't find anywhere is any kind of Caucasian ancestry or background. You don't find any kind of reference to Jewish ancestry. I believe it lists Black, African American, Native American, Asian, Hispanic. It's very unclear. Unfortunately, when you do lists like that, you are going to miss large swaths of the population. There's no way to construct a list that is going to be inclusive of everybody. So, but yeah, as far as who our clients are, at this point, what I can tell you is we engage with a lot of folks, parents, students, taxpayers, other concerned citizens that oppose these things. In this case, there are a number of concerned citizens in the district that have come forward with complaints about race discrimination in the district, including this scholarship. And so those are the interests that we would seek to vindicate if we need to move forward with something more here.
Yeah, I'm looking at Beloit. I'm looking at just the overall proficiency in Beloit schools. We have got, let's see, 15.1% overall proficiency in English language arts and 9.1 overall proficiency in mathematics in Beloit. It seems like if they want to attract teachers to the Beloit schools, they would want to attract either turnaround specialists or they would want to do something about what is functional illiteracy en masse at the school system. By the way, I'm using Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty's proficiency scorecard for those numbers. So those are the most up-to-date numbers we have from 2023. Not trying to figure out ways to not talk about bad outcomes in reading and mathematics. I'm thinking that maybe they've got their priorities in the wrong place here. I don't know what the breakdown is by race, but I'm guessing it's worse for Black students and worse for Hispanic students.
Well, I mean, absolutely right. The district needs to be focusing on problems in the district, and those not focusing on irrelevant and unlawful racial barriers, and not preventing aspiring teachers that are dedicated to this community and dedicated to those students from going in and obtaining their teaching licenses and coming back to the district to serve the community in which they work. So this programs like this, I mean, it's an everybody loses situation.
Oh yeah,
the teacher,
the kid,
student.
The kids are losing. The kids are losing big time in the Beloit public school system. Cara Tolliver from Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty. I appreciate the time on the program. And as we always like to point out, if you're someone in a district and weird things like this are happening in your district, it's always good to reach out to Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty on their website at will-law.org. There's a portal that just allows you to contact an attorney to see if, in fact, this is something that is in the realm that Will can address. So I appreciate the work you guys do, and thank you for joining me today.
You bet, Vicki. Thanks a lot.
Cara Tolliver from Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty.